Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Fire, and this video is going to be a little different. It's going to be about understanding frame data. It's going to be real basic. Not too much is going to go into this video because I'm going to start doing a key moves kind of series, and I'm going to be talking a lot about frame data, so I want you guys to understand it. But before I start the video, thank you to Any Gaming and also Funky Freshville for informing me that Eliza will not be banned at Evo. So if you guys are worried about that, don't worry. Mr. Wizard, the kind of tournament director, said that just the tactic is banned and not the character in of itself, like I was trying to say in my video. So thanks to Any Gaming and Funky Freshville for informing me. And actually, To Win It Gaming has a very good Eliza. If you guys want to go check him out, I'll link his channel in the description. So let's get right to it. So this is gonna be real basic, and the first thing you have to understand about frame data is there's three parts to it. There's a startup, there's the active frames, and then there's the recovery. So if I did this move, which is 15 frames in all, right? Let's say the startup is 10. Right, and then the active frames is 3, and then the recovery is 2. So all in all, that will equal 15 frames. So this move takes 15 frames to come out on the screen and be active and hit the person, and it takes 2 to get into recovery. All right, so another thing that you want to understand is as well as startup. So the startup frames of your move is the kind of hit and block advantages or disadvantages of your moves that you're doing. So if I have Alyssa do a 1-1, alright, so this move, the 1-1 has a 10 frame startup. First of all, so the startup is 10 frames, so it takes 10 frames to get out. And on block, it's -3. So if I block this, it's -3 on block. So if she tries to go into another one, so let's have her record. Let's record her. So since she's doing 2, and the startup is 10, and if I block it, it's -3, and she tries to do another one, you are going to be at a -3 frame disadvantage, right? So what that means is you do 1-1 and they block it, and it's -3 on block. Then when you try to go into another 1-1, effectively you're going into your move that you're doing is going to be a 13 frame startup. So her 4 is 13 frames. Alright, her 4 is 13 frames. So we're gonna play. So just so you guys can see a visual aid, we're gonna have her do 1-1. And remember, the startup is 10, but once I block it, it's -3 on block. So if I try to go into another one, effectively becomes a 13 frame startup. And remember, her 4 is 13 frames. So let's play that back. Right, and you see that we hit each other because when I blocked it, the move. She was at a -3 frame disadvantage, right? -3. So when I did, and she tried to do another 1-1, which is 10 frames. So add 3 onto that, and it makes a 13 frame startup. And my 4 coming through, which is 13 frames, we hit each other, and it was a counter hit. So you always have to remember things like that. So you never want to go into another move that's minus on block, because remember, you are at a disadvantage because the move that you did is minus, so you don't have another turn. It might be safe, right? -3 is safe on block. So if I have her recording, right, just because it's minus does not mean it's punishable. It means that you can't go into another move. So if I have 1-1 and I block, I didn't have her blocked soon enough. Alright, and I'll make her 1-1, and then she blocks. right? I can't punish her because I don't have any 3-frame moves to get through to her -3 frame disadvantage to punish her for that, right? Nobody has a 3-frame startup move, so that means that that move is safe on block. So just because something is minus on block does not mean it's not safe, right? So if you do a move and it's -3, it's safe on block. You just can't do any move that you know, that you can't just keep doing a move and keep doing it and expect to have frame advantage because you're at a -2. So if you try to do a 10-frame startup move, you're effectively at 12. Your 10 frame is going to become a 12-frame move, and their 12-frame move will like hit you at the same time, or if they did a 10-frame move, their move is going to come out sooner than yours. So just so you guys will see, remember, this is, so her on block, her 1-1 is -10, and then if she tries to do it again, she was at a -3 frame advantage. So effectively her next 1-1 will be 13 frames. So if I do a 10 frame, right, I'm gonna get through, and also I get a counter hit because my 10 frame move is gonna beat her now 13 frame startup because her -3 block disadvantage, right? Right, so she can't beat my 10 frame move. All right, so always keep that in mind whenever you're looking at frame data or something. -3 does not mean that it's not safe, because nobody has a 3-frame startup move, right? So just realize that whatever move you do on block, that you're either gonna have to just move around or you know, or try to add a high crush or a low crush move to evade the move that they're gonna do, because you will be at a frame disadvantage. All right, so let's go over something else now. Let's go over punishes, like punishable moves. You'll hear me say a lot that a move is launch punishable. And what I mean by launch punishable is instead of it being -3, which is safe on block, it'll be like -15 and upwards. That's a launch punishable move, right? So it could be punished by a hop kick. Oh shit, I'm hurt. It could be punished by a hop kick, which is 15 frames, you know, or something like this, which is not like that. Something like that, which is also 15 frames. So that's what I mean by launch punishable, right? 15 and up is launch punishable. Even though some people have 14 frame launchers, you know, 15 and frames up usually is about the cap for launch punishable. So just so you guys can see it visually, her down 3+4. All right, now that we've seen her down 3+4, let's look at the frame data for it. Down 3+4, and it's always important that you try to find the frame data for your person, because once you learn it, it's going to be very advantageous for you, because you're going to know what you can do, what you can't, and you know, other things like that that you necessarily would not know because you don't know the frame data for that person. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find her down 3+4. I guess that is pretty important that I look up the frame data too. Okay, here it is. So down 3+4 has a, wait, that's not it. Oops. All right, down 3+4 has a 27 frame startup. That seems about right. And not only does it have a 23 frame startup, but it also is -27 on block. So a 23 frame startup means that they can visually see it, right? At about 20 frames, you can visually see things like snake edge, you know, like Brian's snake edge or something, or Lily's low, her down back 4, right? So things like this at 20 frames, you can visually see them and block them, but you know, sometimes you don't see it fast enough or whatever. So and -23 on block, that means that this basically, some moves that are very, very punishable, they will add animation, kind of like a stun block animation to it, and that's when they get into the -20s and the minus, you know, like 30s and all that crazy stuff. So if she does it and I block it, you see that visual stun she was in, right, which indicates she's at a very high frame disadvantage. And what this means is a person can do pretty much whatever they want. They can do a wall rising 2, right, or you know, they could stand back up and hop kick, right, as long as they act in those 23 frames, right. So so the hop kick was 15 frames, but you also have to count this time that it took me to stand up, right. So different things like that you have to keep in mind. So like and we'll also talk about frame advantage, right. So we talk about frame disadvantage, punishing, and so we'll talk about frame. We'll also talk about frame advantage. I'll pick another character for this, so I'll see you guys when we get back. Alright guys, we're back. So I just recorded a Devil Jin doing an electric and 2 jabs. So an electric wind god fist is +5 on block, and the startup is 11 to 14 frames. It depends how long you go through the dash, right? But screw all that stuff. So basically we just want to know that it's +5 on block. So when he does it, it's +5 on block, right? So if I try to, so effectively his next, so if he does 2 1-1s and the 1-1 is a 10 frame startup, since he was at a +5 frame advantage, his 10 frame startup move will effectively turn into a 5 frame startup. So if I try to do a 10 frame move, it will not beat his 10 frame move because he was at a +5 frame advantage. So let's see. So we're gonna have him do electric into 1-1, right? And I'm gonna try to beat it out with my 10 frame startup move, right? It's not happening because he was at a +5 frame advantage. Oops, sorry. So since he was at a +5 frame advantage, he ooh, shit. Sorry if you guys heard that firework. It's like the middle of the day. I don't know why the hell they're popping fireworks off in the middle of the day. All right, so since he was at a +5 frame advantage, I cannot beat out his 10 frame move because his +5 frame advantage effectively turned into a 5 frame startup. So instead of it being 10, he was at a frame advantage of +5. So his 10 frame move effectively turned into a 5 frame move. And if I try to get my 10 frame move through, it will not go through. It will not beat his out because he was at a frame advantage. All right, so that's all I want to talk to you guys about. That's pretty much all you'll have to know for my key move video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this gave you a deeper understanding of frame data, right? This is real basic. There's some other, you know, mathematician shit that I could talk about, but nobody feels like hearing all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.